Welcome. I'm Mark Raats. I'm going to be consultant at YaWorks, CW290. I also do some work for the WLA as well. You can follow me on Twitter, Slack, and email whenever you want. I'm going to talk about 802.11be. Wes did like a great presentation about AX. We're all working now trying to get the AX deployed. But IEEE in May 2019 started also working with a task group for BE already. Little mistake, it is not ratified yet. So I thought at least it was already ratified, but assuming when the Wi-Fi Alliance was going into the certifications, I was assuming that was like based on the ratification of the standard, but that's not true. So my first thought about 802.11be was this. Who's from Belgium? Anyone from Belgium? So no, it's not. We're not going to talk about waffles, ice cream, chocolate, and all this. So I'm sorry, it is something else. So assuming that Wi-Fi 7, it will be the new name for this one. It's called extremely high throughput. So this very Wi-Fi 6 AX came into efficiency. This go back into like the term about high throughput, very high throughput, into extremely high throughput. So we go back into speed. And that's also to see in first the timeline. So I already said the task force started in 2019, May 2019. September 2020, they are talking about the features. So the features that I'm going to mention in the presentation are features that might be going to include in it. So they are not like set in stone yet. They will make that decision 2020 September. And then the planning is that it will be as amendment in 2024. So the question is like how much overlap will that be with AX? We just had a conversation about when will AX be deployed. It might be around 2022, 23, when we are all becoming into the BE already. So work never ends. So the features, the first feature that you will see is like it will still be backwards compatible. 6 gigahertz will be also be part of that. And the speed will go up to 30 gigabits per second. Yeah, great. We will have 320 megahertz channels. Because we all use 160 nowadays, and we thought, yes, let's add an extra step on that as well. So we go into 320. Actually, 160 megahertz channels will be mandatory in 6 gigahertz. So awesome. We have a lot of channels there, so there will be a chance to use 160. But the question is like, are we going to really use that big of channel? 16 spatial streams. 4096 QAM. Yeah, we already have issues with reaching the 1000 QAM now from AX. They say that with beam forwarding, that it will be helping to make the EVM smaller, is at least better to reach those little spots. Just to make you a little hyper, like, these are the spots. Don't look to them. Do not fall asleep. But that's kind of when I saw this, all those spots on my screen, like, wow, that's quite a lot. There's a little bit of efficiency as well in the BE. There will be a possibility, like I said, those features are not set in stone. They are talking about those features. But one of the features where they talk about is an TX up in both 5 gigahertz and 6 gigahertz. What gives the opportunity, like, see which band will reply first. So you can see, like, when 5 gigahertz is very crowded, 6 gigahertz reply first, you go into the 6 gigahertz band. They give also options for multi-band, multi-channel, kind of full duplex. So you can send in 6 gigahertz, receive in 5 gigahertz, or even they talk about send in channel 36 and receive in channel 100. The channels don't need to be too close to each other, but they talk about that you can send and transmit in different channels. the data and the control plane will be separated. So also there, they're going to use about the different bands, the different channels to change the control plane and the data frames as well. So that's like the efficiency using the multiple channels and the multi-bands. There will be also a lot of coordination. One of the coordination they're going to do is coordination over DMA. With coordination over DMA, they give the opportunity that another access point is able to fill resource units from the other access points. So if one access point has 2 clients and has resource units free, another access point is able to fill in that resource units. We have coordinated null steering to do some spatial reuse. They can able to send to non-associated clients to send those null frames as well. And we have distributed MIMO. I'm not talking about multi-MIMO, I'm talking about distributed MIMO, where the possibility is that the access point, 2 different access points, will have a backhaul together to have like higher speed. So access points will coordinate more together. The infrastructure will be more helping you in your hand. Beside that, we have some enhancements. One of the enhancements is hybrid ARC. We know ARC right now as that every time a request needs to be ACKed. When a frame is not received, for example, in this instance, the MPDU2 is corrupted. It did receive, but it was corrupted, so it was not able to read that the MPDU number 2. The block ACK will reply, and in the block ACK will say, like, this frame was corrupted. They send the MPDU again, number 2, and additional number 3. So you don't only resend the frame that was not there, you make also use for an extra frame, and the access point will use both frames to make a good frame. The issue with this is this will use a lot of process on your access point, a lot of buffer on your access point, so the chance that it will happen is maybe very slightly. Because if you have a lot of retries in your environment, how many times do you buffer those not received frames? Those are some resources that I used, IEEE, a really great PDF file from RxIAV.org, and some presentations from microapps as well. And looking into the next amendment as well, we just talked about BE, Wi-Fi 8, that will be the next one, 802.NL. So we will have tulips, we have windmills, we have some bitterballs, stroke waffles. Will be a great. So I will finish with that one. Thank you very much.